Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the China Insights podcast. This time, by popular demands from you guys, we're talking about the hottest topic on China right now, which is Red Note or Xiaohongshu, this mainland CCP-owned app that many people from TikTok are now migrating to and calling themselves the TikTok refugees. What's going on here? And also, we're going to briefly discuss the situation because today the Supreme Court announced a decision for all 9 justices to uphold the law to ban TikTok on the 19th of January, and there's still some stuff to talk about because maybe the ban won't go through because there are some sources saying that Trump might want to either try to get TikTok to sell it to somebody in the United States or he wants to preserve it. So we'll talk about that considering he just had a meeting, a phone call with President Xi, or I should say Chairman Xi of China. So let's talk about all that. With us today we have Jenny and we have Alan. So if you're interested to check out their channel, I'll put their channel link in the description. Okay, so you guys have all heard about this news. This app right now called Xiaohongshu, right?
Yeah.
Literally means little red book, like Mao's little red book. Mm-hmm. But they're giving it an English name called Red Note, which kind of separates the connection to the CCP there. So I'm hearing a lot of people from TikTok, they're moving from a China-owned app to a even more China-owned app, a CCP-owned app. Why do you think that's happening right now? Or how do you think it's happening?
Well, in my opinion, just on the surface, okay, you see that the people just they are just expressing their discontent with the government. Mm-hmm. Okay, they say you want to punish me to be on a Chinese app. I'm going to go to another Chinese, even more Chinese app.
Yeah.
Okay, but another theory. Okay, I just heard about it. I thought it over. I think it makes sense. Because this is never rare for Chinese government to really plant some seeds. Sort of like the fifth column mm-hmm. in the back then in the Spanish, the Civil War. The app actually appeared to the surprise of Chinese government. When Ma Yun, Jack Ma was producing his Alibaba app and mm-hmm. all those Tencent and those kind of things. Actually, for a period of time, CCP feel that they lost control.
Yeah.
They did not understand it. Okay, and those entrepreneurs are very innovative. They just watch it how it grow, then they catch up to do their regulation, including this so-called 1%, this golden share, something like that.
Yeah.
Right? They buy that 1% and control the whole company. So this Red Note, okay, the Chinese name is very, very sensitive or suspicious. Mm-hmm. It's basically the Red Note translated to Chinese is called Xiaohongshu.
Yeah.
Xiaohongshu means back in the Cultural Revolution. This means it's the speech excerpt of Chairman Mao.
Yeah.
Right. So
it was like a little religious book
right.
of the CCP.
Everybody was waving in their hands when they were meeting with
But now it's on your phone. So
yeah. So one conspiracy theory, which I think it could be true, is this Xiaohongshu has a very special, founding story. Uh-huh. Okay, three matters. First, when it first got founded, 3 top leaders of CCP government went there to visit. Visit the company. Yeah, okay. Including this Vice Chairman Han Zheng, who are becoming to the Trump's inauguration ceremony. Okay, for just an app. Okay, somebody just created an app for the top leader of Chinese government to go there to visit them. It's very rare. Mm-hmm. It basically just does not happen unless it's the party's app. Mm. So it's very likely that this little Red Note is the party's app without the party's name. Okay, and then just a few days before this migration, right, of the users on the TikTok over to Red Note, they have an internal CEO change. Yeah. Yeah, that's a move. Somebody, the founder move aside, another person coming in, that's the CEO, and the founder become the VP of the technology.
Developing the app, right?
Yeah, right. So that's the other thing. And then another thing is just when they first founded, there's in the People's Daily. People's Daily is a party's mouthpiece newspaper. Okay, they just have a little piece reporting about this little app, which was just founded. This is 2019.
So just to give you guys some information, a little red book actually has a big Communist Party cell within the company, which, like you mentioned, Alan, because every company is technically owned by the CCP through the golden share, the 1%. Uh-huh. But Little Red Note has a really big Communist Party branch in it. So that tells us it's pretty controlled in there. But Jenny,
well, all companies in China are controlled by the CCP. I think there's no doubt about it. Because if the CCP wants to do something, do you dare to say no? You don't. So I think this is just a more Chinese app than TikTok for sure. But I think the flock to TikTok is in my opinion, is organic. You know, it's like all of a sudden they realize that a week later TikTok is going to be banned, so they need to go to a place. So that's why we see that the Little Red Book is somehow unprepared. Like they don't know how to do. They don't have enough English censor people, right? But I think there's a bad thing and there's a good thing that come with it. Well, actually, there are two good things that come with it.
Okay.
First is that the young American users who complain about the speech censorship in America, they will meet the real censorship on Xiaohongshu from the CCP. They will be able to have a real sense of what the extreme censorship is like. And just now I saw somebody said, somebody post something on Xiaohongshu saying, "Here I am." 老习, you know, it's like I don't know how to say it in English. 欧习, I love Xi Jinping. And then this post got deleted.
So he's calling like Xi is my bro kind of thing, right?
bro. I love Xi Jinping, and he got his post got deleted. Well, you cannot put Xi Jinping on Xiaohongshu, and you cannot even put similar words that have the similar pronunciation on Xiaohongshu. The other day we talked about in the Chinese program, right? Somebody posted, I have a narrow-necked vase. Narrow-neck vase in Chinese, Xi Jinping. It's similar to Xi Jinping, so it got deleted.
So the theory is you mention that name.
You mention the name.
Word.
You got because they don't know how to censor it, so they just censor the entire name. So I think they will have a real sense of what the extreme censorship is look like. And the other thing is, I like it when the two people start to communicate with each other, you know, and then they start to talk about each other's culture and pay rate. And I also saw the other time, just now I saw a post. Somebody said, "Why are you able to have both days off on weekend and still have overtime pay?" And then American user replied, say, "Oh, you could consider to set up a union and then even go on strike if they don't comply with your requests." Yeah. I think it's really funny.
Did you know I learned today that to accept the user agreement on Xiaohongshu, it means for one of the requirements is you have to follow and abide by the Chinese constitution.
Really?
And you have to, I think, something about, basically you have to follow all of the guidelines for China, because the app is in China, right? TikTok is like, technically it's not in China, so they don't say that, but on Xiaohongshu. And also another thing I learned is when you post on Xiaohongshu, it gets reviewed first before you can post it. Any other social media app, you can post it and then they'll delete it if it violates the guidelines. But on Xiaohongshu, you have to do that first. I want to show you guys this video because, Jenny, you mentioned that you think the traffic to Xiaohongshu is organic, right? I want to get your reaction on this video. So I'll play it and then you guys will have this played for you after, okay?
大家好，我今天想感谢美国的政府，为了他们的决定来禁止 TikTok。 和给我这个机会开始学习中文。我从小的时候非常想学这个漂亮的语言，但是没有办法。现在呢，我一开始用小红书这个应用，我发现学习中文又容易又方便，也非常好玩。我觉得学中文这几天已经可以说得这么好。
Okay, so. Number one, do you believe she learned to speak Chinese this well in just a week since going to Xiaohongshu? Do you believe?
Can I cut in so that
this sounds suspicious?
Yeah, okay. I was saying that I hope that my word can persuade Jenny to change her position. You know, in Chinese there's a word called 事出反常必有妖, right? When something's abnormal, there's something in it. It's abnormal for a reason. So I think for the organic migration, if that happened, there has to be a very, very big star that started to move people because remember, this is a Chinese language only app.
Yes.
How can all those?
There's no translation. There's no English translation on it.
How can they just flunk over just like that? And what you show is very, very convincing, or at least raise suspicion to very record high in my view. You know, you got this sickle and this hammer thing, this party sign. and it got this chairman Mao thing. I think for Western, just innocent or silly Western youngsters, young people to come up with those is inconceivable. Only the party knows how to, just devise that.
Yeah, I'm sure there are like tour, right? I don't know how to say that in English, like people
Actor.
that somebody that you pre-arranged to be
state
there.
actors or something like that. Actors,
yeah. But the thing is, I think, but isn't it the Xiaohongshu, the Little Red Book, is the only app that you can register even if you have an overseas account? Like a lot of Chinese app, you have to have a China. Right.
Chinese phone number.
Chinese identity in order to register. But Xiaohongshu, you can register.
Well,
as
Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok, also opened that up, but they limit you to. They just did it, but they limit you to browsing and following, so you cannot post or do any of that stuff, right?
Read only.
Read only, and then Xiaohongshu is so the issue is what I was researching. Xiaohongshu and Douyin, the Chinese TikTok, they're competitors in China, but right now, like the Chinese government, the foreign ministry, and everybody, they're saying we welcome this diverse, traffic flow between different apps because that's the real China people are being exposed to. So it feels like they already know that this migration was going to happen. At least in my view, it feels like they already know it's going to happen, and that Xiaohongshu has time to prepare for it, or at least because they just released their international version as well, although it needs to have more functions.
So basically what I'm talking about, just a few days, right? 4 or 5 days.
Okay. And so that's the thing I find weird about the migration. So.
But I think I saw another lady, Shivan Fleet, she had a post. I think she has a good valid point. She said that the Little Red Book, named after Mao's Little Red Book, is heavily censored by the CCP. And then she said the TikTok refugees, the so-called TikTok refugees, will learn it the hard way. The China they see on the app is the China they are allowed to see.
Yeah.
So I see some American young people. They said, it's so great. Their city is good. They have big, nice cars. Blah blah blah. But I think it's really important to know. This is the parts of China that you're allowed to see. There are so many things you can see because you're not allowed to see.
Yeah, because everything else is censored, right?
Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys, which is, do you think there is a number of American users who are genuinely, they think that what they're doing is going to be effective at protesting the U.S. government's decision to ban TikTok? Do you think this move is really like they don't? Because I see some people posting, they're saying that, I don't care if my data is being stolen by China. I just want to stick it to the U.S. government, right? Do you think there's a large number of people actually thinking that way? And why do you think that is?
Well, my opinion is I find it hard to be the case because they're not necessarily they are good protesters or know the strategy of protesting. Because when this TikTok calling them to protest, everybody just pick up a phone call, right?
Yeah.
And it's just overwhelmed the Congress. The Congress reaction is not so many people protest. Their reaction is, oh boy, I got to ban this. This is too scary. They don't have strategy. They just really just swamp this kind of behavior. It's not smart. It's not well designed. And then this Xiaohongshu thing, I think so far what happened is too much a miracle, and it just happened in such a short time. And everything come out seems to be perfect. Applying pressure on the Congress or the U.S. government or the upcoming president or the current president. So it just looks too suspicious. Well designed.
I just find the part about the data, right? Nobody, they're making it seem like, let's give up our data in exchange for freedom of speech. But the irony is you're joining an app that literally doesn't allow you to have freedom of speech. So.
Yeah, I think I saw the Xiaohongshu collects a lot of personal data. Your location, basically, the IP address and your physical location, and a lot of your track, browsing history, all of those things. And the thing is, you sign up to it because it's all in the Chinese, the Mandarin terms and conditions when you sign on, and you don't know what it is. So basically, you're giving up all your information. But I don't think it will last long. I mean, I can see some young people like spontaneous, spontaneously say, "Oh, I want to protest. It's my freedom of speech." But gradually, they will realize that they don't have that much of a freedom of speech on little the red note, and after some time, I think the CCP will build a wall between the American user and the Chinese user so that they can now freely communicate. They may be able to communicate to a certain degree, but I don't think the CCP will allow them to communicate without restriction. Otherwise, I think it will be more impact on the Chinese people than on the American people.
So you think the CCP is more scared that the Chinese people learn about America?
They have to prepare for this kind of result because they want to control the Chinese people, so tight in such a box. Now that it's opened up and people can communicate with American freely, I don't think they want this. Yeah, I think there's will be a war.
Yeah, so that's on the receiving side, on the user side. But what we talked about earlier is about whether it's organic traffic or not, right? If it is not organic traffic, then that speaks of the sophistication of the CCP and how far they are willing to go in order to embed an innocuous app, which is Xiaohongshu. Actually, it's not, and it's tied to censorship or indicated. They try to have this app go far and go long. They're willing to pretend to be strict, to pretend to be neutral, pretend to be politically harmless. But that's especially that's how dangerous an app like this is. So I think another thing is just suddenly those competing apps start to collaborating. There has to be a reason, okay? It's because the economic relationship and the benefit is very, very obscure at this time.
Well, I think it's very beneficial for the CCP to have an app, whether it's TikTok or Xiaohongshu or anything else that exists on the U.S. app store, so that it can have this long arm to brainwash kids here. So that makes me wonder: do you think that, because maybe they're competitors in China, but what if the CCP can command the relationship between them, say, once you're outside of China, you are working for me, right? Yeah. So there is no competing partners outside of China. You are just for China or for the CCP. Is that something that could possibly be happening in the case of this migration of traffic? I
think it's very likely. I mean, what prevents the CCP from ordering ByteDance, saying, hey, lend your algorithm to Xiaohongshu, so that we can addict the American youth, right, the American public to Xiaohongshu instead of TikTok, now that TikTok is banned.
And as somebody who came from China, all of us, right, we know that this is just no difficulty at all.
It's just the
party word
order
counts.
Yeah.
Nothing else counts.
Yeah, it's just an order.
Okay, so then that brings the other big question, which is what happens to TikTok now? Because today, right, the Supreme Court is upholding the initial law which the Congress has passed that says any foreign apps controlled by, let's say, the CCP or Russia or whatnot, needs to be banned or sold to an American entity. But TikTok is the hottest thing. President Biden says he won't uphold that action in his last days as president, and then Trump says,
Biden wants to throw this hot potato to
exactly,
Trump.
Yeah. But then it seems like nobody wants to immediately touch TikTok as in we want to ban them. But on the 19th, as we speak now, technically it is banned on the 19th, right?
Yeah. Right.
So what happens next? Do you think TikTok will ultimately be banned?
No, my opinion, it won't be banned. Okay, the users can just use as is, because even the app stores, right, or the Google Play face this $5,000 per user per case. The Justice Department will not follow through. When they don't not follow through, this is only just a punishment in name. It won't happen. Won't materialize.
But wouldn't Trump ultimately want to ban it because that's the law that Congress has put out? Like, wouldn't he clash with his own Congress, which because TikTok is a bipartisan issue, right? This bill is a bipartisan bill.
Yeah.
So ultimately, wouldn't that contradict his wanting to uphold that?
I think it's beyond Trump.
Oh, yeah?
It's beyond Trump. I mean, maybe Trump wants to do something. He just posted on his Truth Social, right? He said, let's respect the decision of Supreme Court. And he said, I wanted to look at the situation, let me review the situation, and I will let you know what I want to do or plan to do. So my theory is that maybe he talked to Xi Jinping over the phone. He said, hey, Bro Xi, Chairman Xi, let me try my best to save TikTok. You know, the Supreme Court may say no, but let me see what I can do. And then a month later, he will have to tell Xi Jinping, sorry, I tried my best. I couldn't do anything. This is a rule by law country, but let me do something else for you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think Trump can do anything to save TikTok.
Okay, let me allow me to disagree. I think Trump really got something in his back.
Yeah.
Okay, because think about it. Elon Musk bought Twitter, right? Back then for like $44 billion.
Yes.
I think, honestly speaking, I think TikTok is worth $100 billion. I do think so. It worth a lot of money, way more than Twitter. Okay, and Trump want to get it, doesn't want to pay too much.
Yeah.
So he's playing some type of things. Now, first, whether he's going to violate the law of the U.S. government, of the Congress, I think he won't, right? He's only saying that I'm the implementer. He will never say, I don't respect Congress, I won't protect TikTok, and I won't respect your law. He won't say that.
Yeah.
He will say, I'm the new president, I needed a few days, things like that. Okay, he won't say anything harsh or anything against the Congress or against the U.S. law. But he won't earn those few days. And then he's going to talk to Trump, see, I'm going to hit on so hard on this. But if you yield TikTok to me.
You mean talk to Xi?
Xi, yes. Xi, yeah, Xi. Just yield to me. I will take a lighter hand on you. Okay. He got that. Maybe he can bought it for like $20 billion instead of $100 billion. I think he won that piece of thing. If you can create a situation where.
But do you think the CCP will sell the algorithm?
Yeah, well, that's basically that's art of the deal. Okay. That's Trump's thing. That's the art of the deal. He's gonna create a situation where they would find this advantage for them to let go, to sell this thing.
Because this law, 9 months ago when it was signed into law by Biden, TikTok's had 9 or 8 months to sell it, right? But they're not doing it. So it makes me wonder how much is the Xi Jinping's geostrategic, assets worth compared to TikTok's algorithm. Let's say Trump wants to offer him, maybe we'll concede on the percentage or harshness of the tariffs initially, right?
Yeah.
That could be, a bargaining chip. But is that algorithm worth more, in terms of what we talked about, the influence on youth? And
okay, my theory.
Okay.
I don't think Xi Jinping has any idea about how much the algorithm is worth. The guy doesn't understand it.
Yeah, of course, but it must be worth something to his, ambitions, right? His whole goal, agenda of invading America.
But Trump can say, with this, I just swipe of my pen, you're going to lose $300 billion on the trade, on trade here.
Okay.
And compare that little algorithm. What are you talking about? Do you understand what the algorithm? I don't think Xi Jinping has any idea. If it's become like a Sino-U.S. relationship, trade relationship, rocking the boat of the two nations, and then at that time let go of this little TikTok. Xi Jinping could not. And Xi Jinping not, everything's resolved, right? Because the law says if there's a severance of the relationship, then TikTok can survive. So I think Trump got something there in his bag. He got enough cards in his hand. He hasn't shown anything yet.
Yeah.
He's not a president yet.
Yeah, that I agree, because for the past 8 months, Trump was not in the picture, right?
Yes.
He wasn't elected. Now that he's elected, he may persuade Xi Jinping to change his mind. And then if Elon Musk is willing to buy TikTok, I think that's a combination that may work. But algorithm-wise, I still feel that even if without algorithm, Trump can get it really cheap, and then Elon Musk can put in his own algorithm. That shouldn't be a problem.
I know a lot of people want to join in on this purchase, right? Not just...
Yeah, if it's $20 billion, a lot of people can afford it.
Exactly.
You don't have to have the Elon Musk.
Yes.
And Trump may not want Elon Musk to get it. He wanted his other ally to get it. Even he want to get it. I'm thinking about it.
So I think right now what a lot of viewers will have this question, which is, doesn't this defeat the purpose of... Because when you hear from Congress's perspective, it was that China is a threat. TikTok is a threat, right? But it sounds like now, when that has moved from Congress to the executive branch, it has become that TikTok is a part of a transaction. The threat part seems to be minimized.
No, it's still a threat. As long as you strip CCP off TikTok, then it's fine, right? So I think if Trump saves the TikTok, I still feel that he will try to get CCP out of the picture. He will say, just let go.
Yeah, I think he has to. Otherwise, Trump won't let it run either.
Yeah. I don't think he will allow the CCP to be still.
So ultimately, the purchase or the ban has to be dictated around whether or not the CCP is still in the picture.
I see it that way.
Yeah.
All right, well, let us know what your thoughts are on Xiaohongshu and TikTok in the comments. Do you think ultimately, do you agree with Alan's prediction or Jenny's prediction, whether TikTok will be banned in the United States? Ultimately, let us know in the comments and consider subscribing to China Insights for podcast and daily videos. And thanks so much for watching today. Thank you to Alan and Jenny, and we'll see you next time.